Is happiness the ultimate goal? You know, recently our government here in the UK has been trying to measure the happiness of the population, and it has got various measures and means of testing this. But implicit in that whole exercise is that happiness should be our primary objective in life. And I'd like to really question that from the perspective of this week's forthcoming reading of Parsha tavoh. In this reading, there is a series of blood-curdling curses with which the Jewish people are threatened by Moses speaking on behalf of the Almighty if we fail collectively to keep the commandments of the Torah. And what's fascinating is that in terms of our failure to do so, upon which point all these terrible curses will be visited upon us, we are told that the root cause is, in chapter 28, verse 47, because you did not serve God, your Lord, with joy and out of good-heartedness, when you had an abundance of everything. So there are two key points that I see in this verse. The first, which is remarked upon by virtually all the commentators, is that the verse holds us to account because we did not serve God with joy. In other words, to serve God alone but without joy is considered inadequate or failing the test. A religion or a religious behaviour which doesn't express itself with joy and happiness and optimism, but rather with a kind of miserable depression, is not true old-time religion. If we are to truly fulfill our mission and God's expectations of us, it is not enough to serve, but we have to serve with joy. The Hebrew word is simcha. That's the first important point which is made by all the commentators. But for me, there's an equally important and profound teaching in the second requirement. Because the verse says, you did not serve God, your Lord, with joy and out of a good heart. Now, what does this phrase, good heart, mean? The Hebrew is v'tuv levav, u'v'tuv levav, and goodness of heart. Now, for me, this recalls the Mishnah in the Ethics of the Fathers in chapter 2, Mishnah 13, in which Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai posed to his students the following question. Go out and discern which is the proper way to which a man should cling. His first student, Rabbi Eliezer, said, a good eye. Rabbi Yeshua said, a good friend. Rabbi Yossi said, a good neighbour. Rabbi Shimon says, one who considers the future outcome of his actions. Rabbi Elazar says, a good heart. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, the master sage, said to his pupils, I prefer the words of Elazar ben Arach, i.e., a good heart, to your words, for your words are included in his words. So we see that being of good heart combines many other important qualities. But what does this actually mean, to be good-hearted? So the classic commentators explain as follows. Maimonides explains in his commentary that to be of good heart means somebody who has refined his character to such a point that he emphasizes the positive. He is entirely constructive in his approach to life and his approach to others. That's what it means to be good-hearted. It means to be positive and have a positive effect on those around you. Another commentator, Rabbi Meir Halevi, comes and says that in fact included in the notion of a good heart is a notion of an accepting heart. The idea that in life we have to accept the circumstances in which we find ourselves, the people who we come across in our lives, and that in effect the only thing that we can control is not what happens to us, but how we react to it. Will we react acceptingly? Will we react positively? That's also included in the phrase, a good heart. But finally, Rabbeinu Yonah of Gerona comes and says that in fact, included in this whole notion of a good heart is the idea of generosity, of being a true giver and contributor. And that this starts with us, if you will, physically, having a good heart, having a warm heart, so that we can actually use our bodies as our primary resource, but in fact all the resources that are available to us in order to reach out and to be positive and to be generous and to give to others. So what I take from all this is that in fact our primary objective as human beings must be not personal happiness, but rather to cultivate, firstly, joy, a joy which is clear and self-evident to others and actually is infectious, but also equally importantly, that we need to cultivate our own good-heartedness. We need to be making a positive impact on those around us. We need to remove negative traits, negative thinking, which can affect us detrimentally, but equally those around us. But also, perhaps most importantly, and most critically contained in this notion of being good-hearted, is that in life we need to be givers rather than takers. So that really, perhaps, is the objective and goal that we need to set our sights on in terms of our personal development. We need to be joyful and we need to be giving. And perhaps through that we will truly attain not only personal happiness, but the happiness of those around us. This is the Wealth Rabbi, bringing you truth and values to the world of wealth. Thank you for watching.